Phillies, of course, trying to punch their ticket to the National League Division Series tonight with another win over the Marlins. Another year in which Philadelphia has reached the postseason, thanks in large part to season-long contributions from its AAA affiliate, the Lehigh Valley IronPigs, who, when all was said and done this season, finished just 3 games back of the second-half title, ultimately closing with the 6th best overall record in the entire International League. With more on the season that was for Lehigh Valley, let's welcome in a couple of our Pigs pundits, Steve Degler and Doug Heater, into studio. Gentlemen, we're going to hand out some end-of-season awards in just a bit, but I'd like to start with this. Another year in which the Pigs were in contention late. Last year, they were in contention basically 2 weeks to go in the regular season. This season, down to the final weekend of the regular season.
Yeah, the last game they played before the last 2 were rained out, they were in contention to take a playoff spot in the second half. Unfortunately, those pesky Durham Bulls, Doug, just had a great finish to the season, a great month of September, and they won the second half title. But really entertaining to see this Pigs team with all the changes be in the hunt at the end.
Yeah, I think not only that, but and you said it, entertaining. Listen, we talked all year about offensively. This team was never out of it. And I think just the rotation of players and having those guys that played hard till the end, you knew that even if they were down 10 or down 6 or down 3, they had a chance to win the game late.
Offensively, a team never out of it. Sounds an awful lot like the way the big club's been constructed this year as well. I mentioned we're going to hand out some end-of-season awards, so let's do exactly that. For each of these topics, Doug, we're going to start with you. So let's begin with your MVP this season.
So this, for me, was extremely easy because I think he jumped out in the middle of the season, and it's a no-brainer. It's Weston Wilson. I mean, his numbers that he put up throughout the entire year was tremendous. First of all, he is now named the International League Player of the Year. He set a franchise record with 31 home runs, also 90 runs scored, became the first IronPigs player to ever steal 20 and hit 20 home runs. He also stole 30 and hit over 30. Led the team in total bases, led the team in RBIs with 86, led the team in walks, led the team in stolen bases. But when I talked to him in May, I asked him about what type of player. He said he wanted to show versatility, which he did. He played a bunch of defensive positions. He said he wanted to be consistent, which he was. In fact, he almost hit 300 in his last 15 games. He immediately became a great clubhouse guy and obviously a tremendous offensive and defensive player to watch in a time where he was not even sure where he would be in late preseason, so to speak. He was waiting for a team to sign him, and the Phillies were very lucky to have done that.
Listen, I can't argue with you, but I can't pick the same guy either. So I'm going to go with Jake Cave, who joined the team from Philadelphia May 4th. He hit safely in his first 21 games in a Lehigh Valley uniform in 23 games in May. 404 with 7 home runs, 22 knocked in, 33 runs scored in 23 games, and 16 doubles. He was the International League Player of the Month. Overall, he played 59 games with Lehigh Valley, hitting .346, 16 homers, 49 knocked in. His last game was July 20th, and he was still tied for 8th in the league for doubles with 30 on the year. He scored 61 runs, better than 1 per game, .429 on base percentage, .684 slugging percentage. That comes out to a 1.113 OPS. He was absolutely scorching for the 2.5 months he was in a Lehigh Valley uniform. I've never seen a guy so hot for so long. He literally carried this team, and he, to me, was the runner-up MVP because Weston Wilson was the guy.
Yeah, hard to argue with the Weston Wilson choice. A really nice second selection, and 2 guys that hopefully are going to help the Phillies now on a long postseason run. Honorable mention to Simone Muzziotti, who right at the tail end of the season dipped his overall average for the season below 300, but he was great all season long. We know those guys, though, were not alone in helping this team get to where it got by the end of the regular season. Let's talk about some unsung heroes for 2023.
This one jumped out to me, too, and it was relatively easy. And I got to be honest, it's a guy that really, if anyone had told me he would still be on the team at the end of the season, I'd be surprised. It was Esteban Quiroz. It was Pony. 96 games played, first of all, 4th on the team, 57 runs scored, 19 doubles, 7 homers, knocked in 59 in those 96 games, which was 1 shy of his career high. That was 97. His 59 RBIs was the 3rd most in his career. The 57 walks, his 3rd most. The 30 RBIs in 28 games in the middle of the season June and July when he really established that he should stay there. Another great clubhouse guy. He was good defensively, despite the fact coming into the season, defensive scouting reports weren't that great for him. And it was a guy that the club rallied around, and this was an easy one for me.
He was clutch. There is no doubt about it. But I'm going to give the pitchers a little bit of love. So I'm going to go with Jeremy Walker, who came out of the bullpen primarily. 47 games, just 2 of them starts. Here's a guy who missed the 20 and 21 seasons because of shoulder surgery. He signed with the Phillies in December. He went 6-2 with a very quiet 2.90 ERA. Chewed up innings, too. 68 1/3 innings in those 47 games. Only 54 hits. Opponents batted just .221 against him, and he induced 7 ground ball double plays. In his career, entering last year, his ERA was 4.00. He was over a run better in an IronPigs uniform. His opponent's batting average in his career was .277. 56 points lower with Lehigh Valley. He came in a variety of situations, everyone except closer. He did not have a save situation all year, but with inherited runners, he was really good. He threw strikes, and he quietly did a great job coming out of the IronPigs bullpen.
And I'm really glad you gave the pitchers some love, because the way this team was constructed and the way they performed, we obviously focused on the offense a whole heck of a lot, and with good reason. But the pitching staff certainly held up its end of the bargain more often than not over the 2023 season. Let's end with this. Just your best moments at Coca-Cola Park this season.
Well, mine goes back to May 24th. It was a come-from-behind win for Lehigh Valley, 11-9. This one stands out because the Pigs rallied down 2 different times. It was a windy, extremely windy night in this particular game. Jake Cave coming up with a big spot. Esteban Quiroz had a big spot in this game. Drew Ellis had a big spot in this game. We forget about him. Here's Cave hitting one in. But this team was down 5-1, then made it 5-3, then down 7-3, then 7-4, then went ahead 8-7, back down 9-8, and it came down to the guys in the last inning with Cave tying the score at 9 in the contest. And Weston Wilson, who had a tremendous game on the night, 2 for 4, 2 runs scored, a home run, and 4 RBIs. Durham comes back, takes the lead late. Now the wind was blowing in violently from left field. It was a cool late fall night, but they were still able to put the ball in play. Cave with a big RBI, a double in the 9th inning to tie the game, and then Weston Wilson comes up in a spot. Would we go to extras on this night? No. The fact that he drove this one, this I thought was a fly ball off the bat, but he was able to put it into the outfield, in left field for that home run. The Pigs were again down twice, 7-4, 9-8, to win the game in what we consider to be one of the windiest nights at Coca-Cola Park.
I'm going to stay with offense, going to stay with the long ball. August 18th against Jacksonville, a 12-6 win, 6 home runs, 4 against starter Devin Smeltzer. Derek Hall, 2-run shot in the first. Aramis Garcia solo in the 3rd. Jim Haley, 2-run shot in the 4th. You're going to see him in order. Dustin Peterson went solo in the 4th. Garcia again in the 6th inning, a 2-run homer. And Cal Stevenson caps the night with a 3-run homer in the 7th inning. 11 of the 12 runs scored in this night came on home runs. On the season, Lehigh Valley hit 213 home runs, 106 of them in 73 home games. Coca-Cola Park used to be a pitcher's ballpark. They made it look small all season long. They had 10 players with 10 or more home runs. Weston Wilson, the franchise record with 31 of them. Dustin Peterson, a career-high 19 home runs on the season. But on this night, it all came together from a power standpoint, hitting a half dozen in a 12-6 win. And the little guy caps it off as Stevenson, who had such a rough start in an IronPigs uniform, hits the 3-run shot to put this game away. Man, Doug, they gave Ribby the Piggy quite a workout in the dugout this night with 6 home runs hit by 5 different guys. To me, that's the moment that sticks out all season long for the Pigs.
Well, we had a whole slew of great moments at CCP this season, and a lot of them surrounded the offense, as you guys touched upon. It felt like, Doug, you said it, this team was never out of it, and 1 through 9, anybody in the batting order could go deep. It was an awfully fun season. Thank you guys for all of your hard work, bringing our fans all the great IronPigs coverage all season long. Thanks again, and we're already looking forward to 2024.
You got it, Dan. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. All I want for my birthday is a Philadelphia Phillies victory. So let's go, Phils.